Hello everybody and welcome to your video notes. Today I will be covering Learning Target 1.3, which is all about conversions, and we're going to be talking about rate conversions using dimensional analysis, or the DA method. As a reminder, the Learning Target goal is that you can convert a rate in English units to metric units and vice versa using correct units. Long story short is you should be able to convert English and metric rates using dimensional analysis. That's what the focus of this is going to be. Okay, so I have this little blurb right here. When converting a rate, your work is very similar to non-rate. The goal is still the same, to make the units given change to the units that you're trying to find. So let's zoom in on example 1. We're going to convert 75 miles per hour to feet per second. So this is the first one. The idea here is that we're still going to write this as a fraction. So we're still going to have 75, and then we're going to put that over 1, except now we know that it's miles on the top and hours on the bottom. Okay, so this new thing right here, the hours, that's the new part. We're putting units on it now because we know that it's miles per hour, or miles for every 1 hour. So that might be a new thing. Don't forget to put units there because that's going to be useful. Now we're going to be multiplying by a fraction again. So if we think about this, it's like we're doing two problems at the same time. The first thing that we need to be able to do is we need to be able to go from miles to feet. Okay, so my given here is in miles. I'm going to try to get to feet. I'm also going to try to go from hours to seconds. Okay, so let's talk about the miles to feet first. I want to get rid of miles. This is going to be the exact same as what we've been doing in the past. I know I can go right from miles to feet. I know that 1 mile is 5,280 feet. If you don't know that, you can always reference that on your pink reference sheet. And when we do this, we see we've got miles on the top, miles on the bottom. I have feet. That's where I'm trying to get to. So I'm done with that part. Okay, done with it. The next part, though, that we're going to look at, use a different color, is the hours to seconds. This is where it might be a little bit different, but the same rules apply. I've got hours on the bottom here. I want to go from hours to seconds. You might know what that conversion factor is in your head, but most people don't. I know that, however, I know that I can go from hours to minutes, and then from minutes to seconds. Okay? So if I want to get rid of hours, right now it's on the bottom. In order to cross something out, it has to be on the top and the bottom. So I'm going to put it here. Okay. Now it's on the top and bottom. It'll cross out. I'm going to put minutes here because that's the first step that I'm trying to complete. 1 hour, 60 minutes. I'm not done yet though because I want to get to seconds in the end, but I'm in minutes. So I can show where I'm at here. I've got rid of hours. I'm in minutes now. So let's put minutes here. And then I'm going to put seconds here because I know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. Minutes go away. And I'm left with seconds in the end. Okay. Now we're going to do the same thing that we've been doing this all of our dimensional analysis. Multiply across the top and bottom. 75 times 5,280. And then 60 times 60, and I end up with a really big number. I get 396,000, so 396,000 over 1 times 1 times 60 times 60, 3,600. I'm going to divide these two, and I end up with 110, and then my answer would be feet per second. There we go. Alright, so what I would like you to do now is I would like you to pause the video and see if you can complete example 2 by yourself. I will be doing it here in a moment, but I would like you to try by yourself first. Okay, and here's my work. So what I did first is I decided that I need to go from miles to kilometers and hours to weeks. Okay. I know that I can go directly from miles to kilometers because on my reference sheet, I see that 1.61 kilometers is 1 mile. So I put miles on the bottom so that way I could cross them out. And then I'm left with kilometers, which is good. But then I need to go from hours to week. So I know that I have to make a pit stop at days, hours, days to weeks. So I can convert from hours to days here, and then days cross out, and I'm left with week. Okay, 24 hours in a day, 7 days in 1 week. I multiply straight across the top and bottom. All the things on the top equal 1,406.5. Everything on the bottom equals 1. So then my answer would be 1,406.5 kilometers per week. Okay. So those are your fairly straightforward ones with maybe a little bit of stuff in between. But notice how that, like, I didn't have to do any sort of like moving the decimal stuff. So this next example, I'm going to talk about how we do metric conversions in the middle of all of our other conversions as well. All right, so let's start off by writing what we have here. So I've got my 5 kilometers for every 1 day. And I know that I'm going to be doing some fractions here, but before I do that, I kind of want to give myself a roadmap. So I know that I'm going to go from kilometers to inches, and there's a number of different ways we can do this. I'm going to show you one way, but there's certainly more than one way. So to do this, I know that I could go from kilometers to meters, because we know that we can just move some decimals to make that happen. After I get meters, I can go from meters to feet, and then once I have feet, I can go to inches. Okay? So there's multiple steps in this one, but it's doable. Then for the other one, I'm going to go from, I'm going to show this one down. Yeah, maybe right here. I go from days to seconds. Okay? So, and I'm going to make this a little bit longer because I already know that it's going to be a little long. Okay? I can go from days to weeks. Sorry, that went the wrong way. Can't go to weeks. Well, I could. Just won't be helpful. Days to hours. Hours to minutes. Minutes to seconds. Okay? So, let's talk about our blue one first. If I want to go from kilometers to meters, I can look at my prefixes like this. I would go from kilometers like this to meters, which is a base unit. So I know I'm going to go to the right, and I'm going to have my 5 kilometers. 5 kilometers. I'm going to go to the right. I'm going to go from 3 to 0. So I'm going to go 3 decimal places to the right. 1, 2, 3. So my answer would be 5,000 meters for that first step. Okay? So we can actually rewrite this. Sorry if you use pen, you're going to want to rewrite that. We know that that's the same thing as saying 5,000 meters for every 1 day. Okay? So we took care of this first step here. Okay? I should have done this in blue. I apologize. Then we need to go from meters to feet. So I'm going to put meters on the bottom, feet on the top. I know that 1 meter is 3.28 feet. That's on the reference sheet. And then I know that feet would go on the bottom, inches would go on the top. 1 foot is 12 inches. So then I cross things out. Meters go away, feet go away. I'm left with inches, which is what I want. Now, I have to do what's in green. And that's pretty straightforward. And it's going to look like this. Okay? I'll explain why I wrote this the way I did. I've got days on the bottom all the way over here. I have to put days on the top over here so they can cross out. 1 day is 24 hours. Hours cross out. Minutes cross out. And then I'm left with seconds. Alright. So, oh my gosh, that's a lot of stuff, isn't it? It sure is. But the idea is still there. Multiply across the bottom, across the top. And you get this on the top and on the bottom. So again, we just multiply across the top, across the bottom. I got this number and this number. And then I'm just gonna type this in my calculator. Divided by 86400. And then I get 2. Let's round that to 2.28. And then the units would be inches per second. Box it in, that's our answer. All right, and that's all you got. Thanks for listening.